Welcome to another weekly stock market update. Today is September 15, 2019. Next week, the FOMC, the Fed, is going to announce their latest interest rate decision. And the market is basically betting 80% that the Fed will cut a quarter of a percent from the current rate. So it wouldn't be much of a surprise on the rate reduction announcement unless it's going to be more than a quarter percent, or if it decides not to cut at all, then the market will probably get into a tantrum. The recent concession by the Chinese and also by Trump on the trade war, the Fed might not continue to reduce rate. That probably will put a little bit of a spin on the market, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the market pull back a bit in the near term. And also the other thing is over the weekend where some news came out of the Middle East, Saudi Arabia oil processing facility was bombed by a bunch of drones. The United States claimed that it's probably from Iran, and that took out a 5% of the world oil supply. The Saudi indicate that it probably will take at least a couple of weeks before they could get that facility back online. Looking at this weekly S&P 500 chart, you can see that this trend line established from the low of 2009. The price is still pretty much above this trend line here. In order to break this trend, it essentially had to come down to somewhere around 2478 area. And last week it closed at 3007.39. So that's quite a few 100 point away. So right now, also have a upper trend line here is to kind of get a little bit of an indication, not necessarily that's where the market is going to hit, but it does give us some idea where it might lead to possible resistance somewhere around this 3200 area. Looking at the ES, the E-mini S&P 500 future, you can see that it is moving toward this all-time high somewhere around 3,029 and a half. You can see that there is a couple of selling candle here. Basically, we got selling spike up here, so that could indicate a little bit of a buyer exhaustion, and probably expect it to pull back, maybe possibly back down to retest this 2944 area, and possibly come down to this composite point of control near the 2885. And looking at the hourly chart here, and remember we were talking about this zone here, this balance area last week, and we're saying that if it break above, then we're essentially looking for a 1x move somewhere around this 3075 and a 2x move at this 3015. If it breaks down, then we're actually looking at a 1x move at 2958 and a 2x move of 2943 and a 3/4. And as you can see, it actually did make a move toward the downside, tagged the 1x move, then it bounces back into the zone, then it proceeds to break out on the upside and move toward the 2x, then come back down and back test the 1x before it try to get up to the all-time high near the 3029 and a half. So right now it's might be making a move back down. And here's this low volume node. So I probably expect it to break this trend line here. I also got a little bit of a near-term trend line. So it probably will break this trend line, come back into the zone and chop around, and probably also even make it back down to this 2944. And I wouldn't be surprised that it will come down to this composite high volume node here, this composite point of control at 2926 and a quarter area. Here we are looking at the NQ, the E-mini future for the NASDAQ 100. On the daily chart here, see that it came in and backtest the 7782 and a quarter. Then it proceed to push toward the all-time high 8051 and 3/4. But last week we actually saw a couple of these selling spike candle here, so that could indicate maybe in the near term there could be some buyer exhaustion. So wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come back in and maybe back test this 7782 and a quarter one more time, or even possibly come back into this zone here, this balance area, and tag the composite point of control near the 7692. And if we look at the trade level that we were watching for last week on this hourly chart, remember we were talking about this zone here. And if we break above, then we're basically looking for a 1x move at 79.35 and a quarter and a 2x move at 79.83 and 3/4. If it breaks down below this balance area, then the 1x move will be 77.89 and 3/4 and 77.41 and a quarter. So we could see that actually it may is move on both directions. First it breaks down, come down, tag the 1x and then move to the 2x before it bounces back into the zone. Then break out of the zone one more time on the upside this time and tag the 1x. Then proceed to come up and tag the 2x before it actually come back in to this low volume area. So next week, essentially, I'm looking for this thing to come back at least down to this high volume area here, this balance area, somewhere around 78.38, 75, and come back in and double test this 77.82 and a quarter. Then we'll see what it come back into this point of control here, somewhere around 77.29 area. Looking at the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, as you can see that it actually moved up. And on an intraday basis, last Thursday actually put in a new all-time high. The intraday was 302.46, and the previous all-time high is at 302.23. So next week, I'm going to be looking for a possibility of pulling back. Remember the previous week, we were also talking about this zone here and breaking above it, and we're essentially looking for these 1x, 2x move and possibly into the all-time high, which it did. And if it's on the downside, then we'll look at the 1x or the possible 2x. So you can see it actually moved to both directions. First it came down, tagged the 1x, come back into the zone, and then break to the 1x and move above the 2x before it pulls back. So next week I am looking for this thing to possibly retrace back to this zone here and maybe chop around a little bit and cut to this low volume area and back into this 294.22 and possibly come back and test this high volume node at 292.51. Here's the QQQ, the ETF for the NASDAQ 100. So you can see from last week, it tried to make up to the move up to the all-time high near the 195.55. Then it met some sellers and got a selling spike candle. Then it pulled back on Friday and tried to fill this gap here. And on the hourly chart, we see that, remember the zone that we're talking about also breaking above this zone, then we're basically looking for this 1x and 2x move and possibly toward the all-time high. But it breaks down below, then we're looking at the 1x and a 2x move, possibly back into this trading band here, this consolidation zone near the below this 189.68. So we can see that they actually moved both directions. It came down, tagged the 2x, come back into the zone, and then move up and tag the 2x before it pulls back. Right now it's sitting right above this zone here. For next week, I'm looking for this thing to come back into the zone here and chop around before it make its move back down and retest this 189.68 and possibly move down to test the point of control, this composite point of control near 187.17. If you like the content in this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe and also the notification icon so you won't miss any future video from me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching and good luck on your trading.